Namaste. Welcome to the podcast. So, this episode is about the goddess who lifts the burden of the heart. This is taken from Devi Bhagavatham, and the story is about King Surada and Samadhi. So, the actual story goes like this. In Devi Bhagavata Purana, there lived a great king named Surada who lost his kingdom due to betrayal and misfortune. In sorrow and confusion, he wandered into a forest. At the same time, a wealthy merchant called Samadhi also arrived in the same forest, but for him, misery came not from loss of kingdom but loss of family, peace, and wealth. Both of them, broken in spirit, met a wise sage called Medharishi. Surada and Samadhi poured out their hearts. Surada lamented his lost power and dignity, and Samadhi lamented his lost peace and meaning. Medha Rishi listened with compassion. He explained that both of them were sufferers of Maya, the illusion of attachment and loss. To show them the deeper truth about life, he narrated three great exploits of goddess, how she protects the good, destroys the wicked, and upholds dharma. Surada and Samadhi were moved deeply by this. They surrendered their egos, began devotional worship of Devi as per the instructions of Medha Rishi, and they received the nine syllabled mantra from Medha Rishi. The goddess appeared to them, pleased by their devotion. She blessed Surada with restoration of his kingdom, and he got everything he lost. She bestowed spiritual liberation on Samadhi because he abandoned all attachment and asked only for divine grace. How does this relates to you and me? The Devi Bhagavatam teaches that suffering often comes not because of external loss but internal attachment. The mind often clings to identity, status, and comfort. True freedom begins when attachment weakens and surrender grows. The goddess responds not to demands but to transformation of the heart. The turning point in the story is not blessing, it's the inner shift that happens when Surada and Samadhi stop resisting life and begin to see it is a journey rather than a punishment. Many of us today are like Surada or Samadhi. We chase success thinking it will give us peace. We cling to identities, job titles, roles, status, and so on. We suffer when these things slip away. The goddess in this story is a metaphor for our own inner center, the awareness that sustains us when the external life changes. Real transformation begins not when life changes, but when our relationship to life changes. For employees who often tie their self worth to promotions, appraisals, recognition, when these disappear, anxiety increases, confidence weakens. This story reminds us life's value is not in the role but in resilience. For homemakers who often feel invisible, unrewarded, taken for granted, like Surada or Samadhi, the heart suffers not because work is unseen, but because inner worth is defined externally. True peace begins when you see your own heart as a source of meaning, not only appreciation from others. For people in relationships who expect love to be returned, who believe peace should be given, and they confuse attachment with secure connection. This episode teaches relationship peace starts inside you not from responses of others. Accept life. For students who often stress about grades, comparison, and fear of failure, like Surada and Samadhi, they wrestle with identity, thinking who I am equal to what I achieve. This story suggests your worth is not measured by results, but by how deeply you engage with your life's learning. For the elderly who often feel loss of body strength, loss of social role, or a loss of family pride, this story reminds them your dignity is not in output, but in the quiet courage of your heart. Grace grows when attachment softens. The conclusion: true freedom begins not when you regain what you lost, but when you discover who you never lost. Discover yourself, your inner self. Thank you.